Hi everyone, you're welcome to today's class, and today we'll be learning how to draft the Natalie Bray basic bodice block. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe and like this video. The required measurements for this tutorial is the shoulder, the bust, the waist, the front and back chest, the shoulder to waist, and the full length. We'll just go straight to the point. So here we have the standard measurement charts in the textbook. Some of the standard measurements I got them from here, like the bust line, the dart, and the extension I used during the tutorial. The measurement in the book is in centimeters, so I had to convert mine to inches. So in converting it, all you need to do is to take your tape. When you look at your tape, this part here is in inches, while the part behind is in centimeter. So all I did was to just locate the point. For instance, if it says 5 centimeter on the ebook, you just place your hand on the 5 centimeter point and turn it the other way. You would notice that it is in 2 inch. So that was how I was able to convert all the measurement to inches, so I can be able to use it for these tutorials. So we'll just go straight to the point. I'm going to be drafting the back first. So next, I'm going to be coming down by 1.5 inch from the top line. The top line is just a guide. So I'm going to be coming down by 1.5 inch like this. Next, I'm going to be drawing a straight horizontal line. This is where the back measurement is going to be starting from. So next, I'm going to be labeling that point O. The point O is where we are going to be starting the back from. So next, we'll be inserting our horizontal measurement, which is from point O to the bust line, point O to the waistline, and the full length. So from point O to the bust line is 8.5 inch. I got this measurement from the measurement chart on the textbook. So point O to the bust line is 8.5 inch. From point O to the waistline is 16.5 inch. Then I'll be going down by 8 inch from the waistline to get the hip line, which will be the hem of my blouse. I'll be repeating the same thing on the other side so that I'll be able to draw a straight horizontal line. So you have 8.5, then on the waistline we have 16.5. I'll be going down by 8 inch to get the hip line. Next, I'll be drawing a straight horizontal line like this. So here we have our bust line, which we'll be labeling as BL. Then we have the waistline, which is WL, and the hip line, which is HL. The next thing we'll be doing is to insert our back chest line, and the back chest line is half of point O to the bust line. So you're going to be dividing 8.5 by 2. So we have 8.5. We're going to be dividing it by 2, and we're going to be inserting half of it at this point like this, which is going to serve as the back chest line. So next, we are going to be drawing a straight horizontal line like this, and we'll be labeling it BCH, which is the back chest. So next, we are going to be inserting our shoulder line, and to get the shoulder line, we are going to be coming down from point O by 1.5 inches. So from point O, we'll be coming down by 1.5 inch to get the shoulder line. Then I will draw a straight horizontal line like this. So this is our shoulder line. We will be labeling it SH. So here we have our shoulder line. After inserting the shoulder line, the next thing we'll be doing is to draw the neck width. The neck width I'll be using is 3 inch. So I'll be marking the 3 inch at the point O like this. Then I'll be going up from that point by 0.75 inch. Next, I'll be connecting the 0.75 inch to the point O using a curve. So this will serve as the neck point. And we'll be labeling that point NP. So next we'll be inserting the shoulder measurement on the shoulder line. So the shoulder measurement I'm using is 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. I'll be inserting the 7.5 on the shoulder line like this. Then I'll be marking the same 7.5 on the bust line. So next I'll be extending the shoulder line by 0.75. Then I'll be connecting that point to the bust point using a straight line like this. So the next we'll be doing is to connect the neck point to the shoulder line using a straight line, which will serve as the shoulder slope. So next thing we'll be doing is to extend the bust line by 1.5. After that, we'll be drawing the back armhole using a curve like this. So to get a perfect armhole, we are going to be going out by 1 inch at angle 45 like this to get a perfect armhole. So the next thing I'll be doing is to insert the quarter of my hip measurement on the hip line. So the hip measurement I'm using is 38.5 divided by 4 is 9.6. So I'll be inserting it at this point like this. Then I'll be connecting the bust line to the hip line using a straight line. So this is what the back bodice is going to look like. As you can see, we've not shaped the waist or inserted the dart yet. I'm going to be doing that after drafting the front bodice. So I'll go ahead to draft the front bodice. So now we'll be drafting the front bodice. So the front and back bodice are similar. So what I did was to extend the bust line to the front, the waistline to the front, and also the hip line to the front. These three lines is the same for the front and the back bodice. So for the front bodice, we'll be starting from the top line. So the top line will be our point O. Remember, we came down by 1.5 inch for the back. So but for the front, we'll be starting from point O. So this line here is going to be our shoulder line. To get the shoulder line, we'll be coming down from the top line by 1.5 inch. So this is the shoulder line for the front. So next we'll be inserting the neck width and the neck depth for the front. So the neck width I'll be using is 3 inch, the same neck width I use for the back. Then the neck depth I'll be using will be 3 inch also. So it's going to be 3 by 3 inch. So the next I'll be doing is to square down the line like this. So I'll be able to draw a perfect neck curve. So to draw the neck curve, I'm going to be going out by 1 inch at this point like this. Then I will draw the curve passing through the 1 inch. So I'll be able to get a perfect neck curve for the front. So here we have our front neckline. So the next thing we'll be doing is to insert 6.5 inch on the shoulder line. So we'll be inserting the 6.5 inch on the shoulder line like this. This 6.5 inch is constant and can be used for any size. We'll mark the 6.5 inch. So next we'll be connecting the NP to that 6.5 inch point. So the next thing we'll be doing is to insert our chest measurement. The chest measurement is 1.5 inch above the bust line. So we'll be marking the 1.5 inch at this point like this. After which we will draw a straight horizontal line. So the next thing we'll be doing is to label it CH. So next we will be inserting the quarter of the front chest measurement on the chest line. So the front chest measurement is 15 divided by 4 is 3.75. So I'll be inserting that 3.75 on the chest line like this. I will insert the same thing on the shoulder line. So I'll mark the 3.75 inch like this at this point. Then I'll be extending this by 0.75 inch. That means I'll be adding 0.75 inch on the chest line there. So the next thing I'll be doing is to mark the same 3.75 inch on the bust line. Then I'll be coming down by 0.75 inch on the bust line, after which I'm going to be connecting that point to the top line using a straight line. So I'll connect it to the top line using a straight line. So this is going to serve as our first dart leg. Next we are going to be taking out our dart. The dart I'll be using is 3 inch. So I'll mark the 3 inch on the top line like this. Then I will connect to the 0.75 below the bust line using a straight line. So this is going to be the dart on the shoulder. So the next thing we'll be doing is to complete the shoulder line. So from the chart, the shoulder measurement that matches the bust I'm using is 5 inch. So plus this 3 inch dart we took, that will be 8 inch. So I'll be inserting the 8 inch at this point like this. Then I'll be connecting to the neck point using a straight line. So this will serve as our shoulder slope for the front bodice. So here is going to serve as the shoulder line. Next we'll be doing is to insert half of our chest measurements on the chest line. The chest measurement I'm using is 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. Then we are going to be adding that intake, which we are going to be measuring is 0.75. We are going to be adding it to the measurement like this. Then we'll be inserting the same thing on the bust line. Then we are going to connect both points using a straight line like this. So the next thing we are going to be doing is to connect the shoulder line to the chest line using a straight line. So the next thing we'll be doing is to insert the bust measurement on the bust line. In doing that, we're going to be using this formula, which is half bust plus whatever allowance you want to use. So I'm going to be using 1 inch allowance, then minus the back bust. So I'm using bust 36 divided by 2 is 18. So half of that bust is 18 plus 1 minus the back bust. So I'm going to be measuring the back bust to see what I have on the back bust. So I have 9 inch on the back. So minus 9, which is going to give us 19 minus 9, which is equals to 10 inch. So I'm going to be inserting the 10 inch on the bust line. So the next thing we'll be doing is to draw our armhole curve for the front. In doing that, we are going to be coming out by 1 inch at this point. Then we will connect. But before then, we are going to be locating the midpoint of this armhole line. Then we'll be going in by 0.5 inch. Then we connect from the shoulder line to that 0.5 inch using a straight line. Then we are going to be connecting from that 0.5 inch to the bust line using a curve passing through the 1 inch. So this is how it's going to be. Make sure that the curve touches the 1 inch point. So here we have the front armhole. So the next thing we'll be doing is to insert quarter of our hip measurement on the hip line. So the quarter of the hip measurement we are using is 9.6. So we are going to be marking it at this point. Then the next thing we'll be doing is to connect the bust line to the hip line using a straight line. So the next thing we are going to be doing is to shape the waist. As you can see, the waist does not have any form. So we are going to be shaping the waist. And in doing that, we are going to be coming in by 1 inch on the front waistline and by 0.75 on the back waistline. After which we are going to be connecting the waistline to the bust line. Then we'll be connecting the waistline to the hip also, like this. We'll be repeating the same thing for the back also. So the next thing we are going to be doing is to insert our waist darts, and in doing that we are going to be using the waist reduction method. What we'll be doing is to add up what we have on the front waist and the back waist, then we subtract it from half of the waist. So I'm going to be measuring what we have on the back waist. So on the back waistline we have 8.5 inch, while on the front we have 9 inch. So and the waist I'm using is 31 divided by 2 is 15.5. So the front and back is 9 plus 8.5, which is equals to 17.5. So we're going to be minusing half of the waist from the 17.5. So it will be 17.5 minus 15.5. And the answer we have is 2 inch. So this 2 inch we have, we are going to be sharing it for the front and back. So the 2 inch excess we have, we are going to be sharing it for the front and the back. So before we do that, we are going to be shaping the back, because the back is not straight. If we should leave our bodice like this, after sewing there is going to be a bulge at the back, and to eliminate that bulge we are going to be coming in by 0.5 inch on the waistline. Then we connect it to the bust line and to the hip line using a straight line like this. So this is to eliminate the zip bulge at the back. So after eliminating the zip bulge, you took out 0.5. So what is remaining is 1.5 inch. So you're going to be sharing the 1.5 inch for the front and the back. So we are going to be using 0.75 for the front and 0.75 for the back. So next we are going to be inserting our bust pan, which is going to serve as the center of our dart. We are going to be inserting it on the waistline, on the bust line, and also on the hip line. So from the hip line, we'll be coming up by 2 inches. This is where the dart is going to stop. And on the bust line, we'll be coming down by 1 inch. This is where the dart is going to be starting from, and it will end at 2 inches above the hip line. Next, we are going to be connecting the 2 points using a straight line like this. Then we are going to be dividing the 0.75 inch we have on both sides. So here we'll be having 0.37 at this point and 0.37 on the other point. Then we are going to be connecting the 4 points together. So we'll connect this point to 1 inch below the bust line like this. Then we'll connect the lower part to 2 inches above the hip line like this. We'll be repeating the same thing on the back. So I repeated the same thing for the back, but I did not come down by 1 inch from the bust line, but I went up by 2 inches from the waistline like I did for the front. So this is what the basic bodice is going to look like. All you need to do now is to cross check your measurements, and we are going to be cutting. But before we cut, we need to fold in the dart, because if we should cut like this, we are going to have a short measurement at the shoulder line. So we are going to be folding in the dart. The first dart leg will meet the second dart leg. So we'll be doing this so that we can redraw the shoulder line. So as you can see, the shoulder line is no longer meeting again. So we will need to draw a new shoulder line so that when we join, we will not have any issue. So we'll draw a new shoulder line, the neck point meeting the edge of the shoulder like this. Then we'll be using our tracing wheel to trace it out so that we can get the line at the other side. So we'll trace it out, then we're going to open it up and redraw the line. So open it up. As you can see, you will see the dotted line. Then we use our ruler to redraw the line. We draw the line like this. So this is how it's going to look like. Then we are going to cut from the neck. We'll cut like this and pass through that triangular line there. Then we'll cut to the armhole like this. So I hope this class is helpful. If it is, please subscribe and give it a thumbs up. I'll see you in the next class. Thank you very much.